really feel like they probably do need to get rolling on Inferno and get that map over the line, and obviously then moving into their own map of Anubis. That'll be confident builder, and you can maybe go up 2-1 in the series. But look, it's yeah, it's going to be a tough one to deal with for Lynn Vision, no matter which way you swing it. And playing on LAN as well, is that a benefit for Lynn Vision as much as it is for TYLOO? I guess we'll wait and see as we get back into game, and looks like we're ready to go this time. Lynn Vision starting things off on the CT side. We'll see what TYLOO have to throw at them.
Yeah, it's going to be one player towards Banana. Just Amelia going to be holding on to B with Smoke and Doolies spotting out, looking for any information or sound cues that TYLOO might be speeding up over there. Flash being held towards top side of bracket as Lynn Vision looking for any TYLOO players making moves in that part of the map, but as there's been no contest in the early round, Lynn Vision are going to fall back in towards the site now, and TYLOO going to creep their way up bracket.
Rosemelon, they're waiting to receive, but he's the only one on this angle at the moment, and he's going to lose his life. There's Zaka as well, actually right behind him. USP is doing a lot of work. He gets 3. Gee, finding that trade, but a little bit too late. And meanwhile, Afufu was able to catch Mosey. So pistol round hasn't exactly gone to plan for TYLOO. And G now against some of his old teammates is going to have to pull off something of a miracle. Bomb will be retrievable.
Yeah, has to pick that up first. Lynn Vision working together to clear out port side. Amelia creeping up on the line is going to be good for it with the dualies. And there you go. Bodies being shot right from the first round. The message being sent. 3 CT pistols today for Zaka. A 4K, a 4K, and a 3K. Man is on an absolute heater to start off these CT sides.
Yeah, most definitely. There's a reason why he's the player to watch in this matchup. Amelia as well getting the mental warfare going against TYLOO. Dropping the bag on G. So that's got to hurt. TYLOO don't invest into the round.
Yeah, we're not up to date with all the gossip, unfortunately. It's hard sometimes with the language barrier, but yeah, we don't know if there's any real bad blood or anything like that between some of these players. Yeah, and sometimes the, you know, announcement graphics and things like that don't really tell the story of whether players were removed or chose to leave. All that kind of stuff. Sometimes things get a little bit lost in translation. Nothing lost really in this round so far for Lynn Vision, though. This is a very clean anti-eco, one that they're playing quite aggressively. Sending a message once again is Zaka with a 3K, just swinging mid with an A1S. And gee, there's not. Sometimes you got to smile through the hard times, man. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember there is a crowd. I mean, we don't get to hear it, unfortunately. But I'm sure that he's playing with the crowd a little bit, knowing that he's the last player alive. There's a pretty good chance that he's going to be on camera, so...
Funnily enough,
get a rise.
Last time these two teams, although XSC, I can't remember if they played or not, but the Chengdu qualifier at least, I remember Lynn Vision beating TYLOO in emphatic fashion, and G was actually playing on Lynn Vision, and he was on top of his desk, losing his mind because they just upset TYLOO. And fast forward to present day, and here we are. He's playing against Lynn Vision in a Chinese LAN Grand Final.
They did not play against each other at XSC Pro League. Chinggis Warriors beat Lynn Vision 2-1 in the semi-final there, and so it was TYLOO versus Chinggis Warriors in the grand final. They were on the opposite sides of the bracket. It was unfortunate that they didn't get to meet there, but, you know, Chinggis Warriors, back then at least, were a pretty interesting prospect. I think they might be a dead team now. Haven't seen them in a little while, so it's a bit unfortunate.
What are you doing, Mongolia? Get it together.
Got another pause out here. Gotta make sure everything's all good on the stage early on in the piece.
Yeah, I think it's sound issues for TYLOO that we're ironing out here and there. You can see all of Lynn Vision players, no admins helping them. They're ready to go. They're cool, calm, and collected. I think it's more so on the TYLOO side that we're having some issues early on here. So better to iron them out before we head into the first gun round, and better to iron them out this early on in the grand final so that it can get fixed nice and early on and we don't have to revisit this issue later.
Is that Zoking or Cammy standing behind TYLOO right now? I don't think it's Zoking.
I don't know. It might be Zoking. It kind of looks like Zoking to me.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I just remember him being extremely skinny.
No, it is Zoking. It is Zoking, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Cammy doesn't look like that. And it says that Zoking is listed as the coach, whereas Cammy's listed as the analyst. And I've seen that posted on multiple different sources. So I'm pretty sure that, yeah, Zoking is actually the one in the coach slot behind TYLOO. Look up a picture of Cammy for me, because that looks like Zoking to me. It's a bit hard to tell sometimes, guys, because like the player photos are quite old in some cases for some of these players.
Yeah.
Like Zoking's still got a Vici Gaming jersey on, so
nah, it's definitely not. It's definitely not Cammy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Zoking, which is an interesting one. Fufu on the jump spot there. In towards second, middle Invision have taken banana control early. There is a contest, though, from TYLOO. A set smoke to be able to put out that Molotov over towards Olaf's side, and a flash up over the top to try to get Jam Young back into banana. He's retaken that space. Carp's control taken by TYLOO here as well. And they're going to start to put some utility pressure on Bracket. But Lynn Vision, we've seen them with this setup a couple of times. This is something that TYLOO should be ready for. This porch setup is something Lynn Vision loves to run a lot.
It's going to be a molly underneath. And a Fufu putting out that fire, but not prepared for the player boosted up on top. It doesn't even come down to Zaka. It's actually flying that gets that kill onto Mercury, and TYLOO have to go scurrying away from Brackets.
TYLOO going to go back towards this B side of the map, where there's a fair bit of utility that's been dropped off here for Westmelon. He's holding on his lonesome, only with a Mac 10. HE is there for Jam Young, so if TYLOO want to go, they can just go, but the rotations are coming in thick and fast as this execute comes in. It's open, but the flashes into pool and the Molotov. HE to follow up as well. TYLOO are getting bombarded trying to force it into this site.
Yeah, great counter util from Lynn Vision, but TYLOO still trying to bully their way forward. It's onto Westmelon to try and hold, and he can't hold strong. Yeah, at least did get one onto Mosey. So it is back to the 2-on-2. Health advantage is there for Lynn Vision.
Let's go, but the rotations are coming in thick and fast as this execute comes in. It's open, but the flashes into pool and the Molotov. HE to follow up as well. TYLOO are getting bombarded trying to force it into this site.
Yeah, great counter util from Lynn Vision, but TYLOO still trying to bully their way forward. It's onto Westmelon to try and hold, and he can't hold strong. Yeah, at least did get one onto Mosey. So it is back to the 2-on-2. Health advantage is there for Lynn Vision. Got a nade as well, which is going to, in theory, soften up G a little bit. Didn't quite land. A couple of flashes available to the CT side, but they've got to move quickly. They don't have a kit. And Starry, just on a bit of a cheekier forward angle, catches Zaka. G has not yet been spotted. And maybe won't be spotted until it's too late. That's the first round on the board for TYLOO. 2-1 the scoreline.
Pretty good bonus, though, for Lynn Vision. Are going to be able to repurchase in towards this next round, and they bring it to only one player surviving. So this will be a swing round. Round number 4, 1900 loss bonus for both teams, who will empty their bank accounts here. Money there for an AWP if Amelia wanted to drop it, but Zaka declines. They're going to stick to a rifle-centric buy, trying to keep all the util together. Mac 10's there for Mosey, and you've got 3 players without head armor. So the Mac 10 and the Galil could find a bit more usefulness here for TYLOO. 3 players starting towards B. Last round did have only that one player with the util cash towards the backside playing retake, and they went for a porch tack. So you can see early on, Lynn Vision constantly changing up their setups to try to keep TYLOO guessing.
Westmelon and Amelia with a pretty cheeky sandbags hold right here. Westmelon trying to look over the corner of the bags right there. Molotov not quite going to go deep enough to push him away, but seems to have worked in the other direction. Some of that CT util forcing TYLOO back to the bottom of banana.
Yeah, Amelia's still got a whole bunch of util to be sitting on towards this B site, and exactly like you said, that is the purpose of that utility, just disrupting TYLOO, pushing them out of sandbags, making it hard for them to work that B side of the map. TYLOO have, in turn though, been given brackets. Mercury dropped off on an aggressive lurk, and TYLOO, they're going to go back towards banana and try to recontest this part of the map. It's just Westmelon here with an MP9. Amelia's dropped off an additional smoke in towards main there for him, or maybe refresh that top of banana smoke. There's the fight over toward bracket. This could be pretty important. Mercury just looking inside of the smoke, and Westmelon, I mean, there's not really much he can do with an MP9 from that position, especially not with a peak like that from Jam Young. Yeah. And Amelia's just trying to buy time for the rotation here. Zaka's here, but the flank's coming in slowly but surely here for Mercury as TYLOO take the site.
It's looking like a pretty doomed round already for Lynn Vision. Whether or not Mercury gets involved, it would still be a 4-on-4 or a 4-on-5 retake, but that is just too clean, too easy for Mercury. As he'll catch Zaka and Amelia in the back and take another couple of guns out of the hands of the CTs. It's not taken long for TYLOO to start looking very, very solid on this T side.
Yeah, and that was kind of the plan for Lynn Vision, and it's kind of fallen apart. They had Westmelon up towards top sandbag. He only had an MP9 and armor, so in a round where you have 1900 loss bonus, Jordan, if you save the 4 rifles, that's going to be a good buy going into round number 5, right? You've got 4 M4s, you're just going to repurchase the MP9 and buy full kits of nades or a pistol, and once again, same as the last round, you're going to re-up with a 4 rifle buy and a weaker weapon. Now that can't happen. Mercury coming in on the flank there and punishing those 2 players who were trying to save completely disrupts that plan from Lynn Vision, and now they're just going to have to save around these 2 rifles.
Yeah, probably just put a Fufu and flying back on that A side and hope that TYLOO's going to go in that direction, or if they don't hunt them down. We've got, yeah, a Fufu and flying back over towards A alongside Zaka. So it's a pretty standard setup, really, from Lynn Vision. Obviously, without the weaponry. But you're going to have the 2 players that have at least got the guns in a position to maybe make an impact with them. That's looking a little bit silly from Starry.
It's very questionable. That rifle is now pretty retrievable here. So that's going to be 3 rifles getting in the mix as TYLOO holding things up a little bit. Creeping in towards carpets. Surely you're going to get that weapon retrieved. You're getting the pistoling player swing middle. I'm kind of questioning that from Zaka. I have to really question that, because he could have made his way into carps to pick up that rifle, but he never even went for it. Peek in towards middle though from a Fufu. Flying and him are really doing a good job putting TYLOO through their paces, and exactly like you said, it's the pistoling players stacked up on B here. Smoker's gone into CT to create some pressure a good 20 seconds ago, but that didn't really force out any kind of reaction from Lynn Vision. It's pulled a rotation across from flying, and TYLOO trying to pick up the pieces of this round that seems to be falling apart here. Fufu re-smoking top bracket. Last player left for Lynn Vision on this A side as the rifle is stacked over towards B with these 2 pistoling players. TYLOO, 30 seconds on the clock. 1 bad timing, 1 multi-frag from a Fufu, and this round could be over. Yeah,
but similarly, if they get it right, TYLOO get the round for free. You know, clean up a Fufu, a 3-on-3 post plant. Should be there around. Lynn Vision will be happy with the wins that they've got, which is just a bit of damage, really. And a Fufu, well, he's been found out. The Molotov gets the job done. So bomb plant's going to go down here just in time for TYLOO. They've cleared out the site completely. Playing the only player with a rifle doesn't really fill you with a lot of confidence that Lynn Vision is going to be able to make a retake happen here. And in the end, that economic damage is really the only thing that they're going to get out of this round.
Amelia looking for that rifle, but I think it's been thrown out of the map. So TYLOO really dotting their I's, crossing their T's here as they try to close out this round as cleanly as they can. Westmelon's found that AK in apps that I felt like Zaka should have gone for ages ago. And like you said, TYLOO, they just needed that good timing onto a Fufu who, I mean, yeah, it's a bit underwhelming there. He'd already found 1 frag in that round. See a lot of star players in that pit position. Hold on. Dosia rerun? I haven't seen a Dosia rerun like that for a while. That's a nice nade. Just take out G. If it lands a little more squarely on Jamyang and Mosey, could have been a 3K and take all those guns away. There's a graffiti there for a reason, guys. And there you go. TYLOO, they secure that round, but not without taking a fair few losses. Regardless, though, they've bounced back well from losing the pistol and the anti-eco. Now it's up to Lynn Vision to show us what they've got. Once again, relying on a rifle-centric buy and not touching the AWP just yet.
Melton was able to pick up an AK at least, so probably something. TYLOO gonna move quickly up through the banana. Jamyang able to dispatch of the saved AK. It's the first time in a while that TYLOO have actually had presence in banana this early on in the round, so something that Lynn Vision now going to have to contend with.
Yeah. Man advantage for TYLOO. Like you said, pressure on B. Lynn Vision, it's up to them to respond to this. shots, and TYLOO just working the map in a 2-1-2 right now. They've gotten some pressure and control of carpets. They've taken most of Banana. Jamyoung waiting for the reaggression from the CTs, just playing anti-flash with G as Mosey holds the middle of the map. The world is TYLOO's oyster. Molly into that close position, followed up by another Molly on towards half wall here from Amelia. Doesn't quite hit the mark. Those Mollies are just not really doing anything and won't be useful to hold this B execute that's coming in slowly but surely. Both of those Molotovs could have been pretty useful here. HG's left open over to break the smoke for Starry if he wants to, as we've got 35 seconds on the clock, and TYLOO going to end this round the same way that they did previously. One lurking in towards jungle side inside that progression smoke, and a 4-man execute on towards the B side.
Starry not going to have the same success that Mercury did. He was spotted by Flying, but it shouldn't really matter too much for this round. TYLOO are into the B bomb site. Starry still kind of hanging around, keeping Lynn Vision busy on A. Lynn Vision, one would imagine, will be more than happy to save their guns on this A bomb site. In saying that, though, like, you know, still early days, but at a certain point, Lynn Vision are going to have to start going for these rounds, and it's kind of feeling like, outside of a round or two where TYLOO have sort of messed up a little bit, let's say, Lynn Vision haven't really had much success. So far, this is looking pretty solid from my perspective in the favor of TYLOO.
Yeah, they've had a lot of pretty clean gun rounds with 4 or 5 players alive. That round, they were just always ahead. Like, found that pick towards top of Banana, and then the second pick is only on B is only a 1-for-1. I didn't really like the molly plays there for Lynn Vision, and I have to say, like, in this tournament so far, there've been a lot of plays that I haven't really been a huge fan of from Lynn Vision. Like, they've been a little bit rough around the edges, to be honest, with some of their decision making. TYLOO, though, looking pretty well drilled, as you'd expect them to on their map pick here in this grand final. With the saved weapons, though, Lynn Vision will once again go for a buy here. They're starting to max out the loss bonus now. 3 players starting towards B. They're going to try to take Banana, but heavily contested by TYLOO. They reply with their own utility and get another pick towards Banana, flying under pressure as well. Jamyoung very low, finally picked up by the nade. So into a 4-on-4 now. Double nade stack toward Bracket, and TYLOO take Bracket with force. Instant double entry from Mercury Mosey, and that round's done.
There's the
triple
response.
smoke to Moto. Why not?
Yeah, the more smokes, the better. I mean, that's I think that's TYLOO just recognizing, you know, there's a lot of players in Banana, and they've seen that setup as well. Like you said earlier, they've seen that setup from Lynn Vision before. You know, they didn't really quite break it in the last round that they tried to go brackets, where that setup was in effect from Lynn Vision, but this time they seemed very, very prepared for it. An instant response from TYLOO, crushing Lynn Vision, and this CT side is really starting to look quite worrisome. There's a lot of saving going on, which it is Inferno, so that's to be expected, but you know, you're saving the guns for no reason if you're not going to win the next couple of rounds at some point. And so far, TYLOO's kind of just getting through it. And most of these rounds aren't even looking super competitive either. So the way we're headed is a 2-0 lead for TYLOO in terms of the series score overall.
I think it's time for a timeout for Lynn Vision, if anything, or try to get an AWP into Zaka's hands. Like, we haven't seen him get that yet. There you go, drop over by Flying, who has been min-maxing the money for a while. Another buy will come through here for Lynn Vision, and still Amelia and Flying have got plenty of cash, which tells you, despite losing 5 rounds in a row, they have really just been trying to squeeze every last dollar from their economy. Zaka going to be set up to try to take this B line with the AWP early on here, I think. We'll just drop his util off, at least initially. He is just playing that passive line. TYLOO with just the 1 util set to kind of disrupt that Banana control. A head stack in apps like this, I don't think I've even seen something like this before, and it's... We'll see how effective it is, because that's going to be a double or triple peak from TYLOO.
Well, maybe we won't get to see how effective it is in the end, because Lynn Vision have fallen off of that angle. Starry wants to punish a Fufu. Starry really trying to... I think he's really trying to force it a lot, isn't he? We've seen him a couple times in the apartments, just keen for a fight. This time it doesn't go as pear-shaped as the last.
HE blowing open the smoke. He's still applying pressure. Rotation's been pulled across from Amelia in towards spawn side. You had a retake set of util on towards Banana while that Carbs fight was going on, and in the meanwhile, Invision has at least posted up Zaka on that deep line. Reactive utility there from Westmelon. Over back here towards Bracket, though. You do have TYLOO posted up. They've taken control of that. Will Invision re-clear that Bracket's control? They're re-smoking Carps. They're just playing passive lines as this pressure utility comes in towards the B side. Zaka not missing a single thing this tournament with the AWP. G strikes on the other side of the map to find the pick on Amelia. Aggression in towards Banana. Westmelon's sending it down as the second hit comes in. They just line up for Mercury. A Fufu and Flying really feels like a bit of a leak on this A side of the map. Like, these are the two players that you've been criticizing a little bit this tournament. If you've been, you know, watching things, Lynn Vision, it feels like they've got a solid core, but the new additions have kind of been lagging behind a little bit, and you're playing both of them on the same side of the map, and it really feels like TYLOO's taking a lot of advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say it's going to be a pretty tantalizing prospect if this really comes down to, now that Zach has got the AWP, you know, what can he do on that CT side? Can he kind of start to bring this back for Lynn Vision, and then G on the AWP as well? Both of those players have had a pretty decent run in this event so far. But ultimately, like you say, I mean, a Fufu and Flying being a bit of a liability over on the A-bomb site right there. Mercury just cleaning them both up on his own. And netting another round for TYLOO. 6-2 will be the scoreline. The silver lining is that Lynn Vision have got themselves the AWP through to this round again. And so Zaka can at least attempt to continue having some kind of an impact. But for all the good that he's going to be able to do, he can't be on both bomb sites at once.
That's where you get a little bit concerned about this grand final for Lynn Vision. They need 5 players turning up into the server, because that is usually what you get from TYLOO. Need to be able to match the firepower of a Chinese super team. And Lynn Vision, it's kind of feeling like the leftovers, and maybe not making the additions that you'd want to see from them, especially considering that you've had another team of leftovers, Rare Atom, doing so well lately, you know? It's not like there weren't players floating around outside there. Bromo, some of these guys are looking pretty talented. So at some point, and this tournament in the RMR, if things don't go well for Lynn Vision, surely there's got to be changes on the horizon, but this is their chance to prove that those changes aren't necessary. So far, it's not been going particularly well. Once again, light util pressure in towards Banana. TYLOO going to take this timing this time around and actually forcing Westmelon out of sandbags. He's going to have to respect that utility set, and TYLOO are just going to pick up the pace.
Yeah, play with confidence. Why not? At this point, you've got the rounds to play with, and you can try and go for these kinds of rounds. They know that there's another player on this bomb site. They're going to try and dig Westmelon out, and that is going to be a task that is way too easy. Bomb plant down. It should be another round, and it will be now. That's Flying's just been deleted by Starry through the smoke. Lynn Vision cannot catch a break. They call attack timeout, and then TYLOO, I would say, I've actually pulled out their most convincing round of the map so far, because that one was just dominant.
Yeah, I mean, they just changed the pace. Lynn Vision reacting to what TYLOO was doing before, moving the AWP over onto the A side of the map. They have the initial util set. TYLOO has shown that same progression util set in a round previously, where they're smoking off towards, you know, the half wall, and then they have like the little util set to follow that up to be able to take that sandbag control. So for Lynn Vision, that's a round where, as things are developing, you're not sure, is this just control that's going to go back to bracket? We'll hold that thought for a sec. G, hard on the hunt here, denied by a Fufu, but yeah, you're in two minds, right? You've been conditioned to think, okay, they've just taken sandbag control, now they're going to work the map a little bit more and trade down util, but that's where TYLOO, they change things up and they just pick up the pace into B. That completely catches Amelia off guard, and Westmelon's completely out of position without any help. The rotation isn't close enough for Flying to offer him the util that's needed. And TYLOO just steamrolled the site.
Well, 7-2. Lynn Vision got another bye, but it's definitely leaving a bit to be desired. There's not a huge amount of util presence for them here. Taking head armor, though that shouldn't necessarily be a factor in this round. He's scraping the bottom of the barrel though, Lynn Vision, and TYLOO are continuing to play with confidence. Mosey's just been flashed into brackets by Jamyoung. He's not going to slow down at all. G sets up on the line, waiting for the repeat for Zaka, and it's just going perfectly for TYLOO. They are a well-oiled machine right now on Inferno.
They're just running their set rounds, and Lynn Vision cannot hold them. It was 4 players on A, Jordan. Porch, Pit, Porch, Balcony, Sight Box, and Graveyard. They have literally 4 players ready to hold A there, and they go 1 for 4. That is not good enough, and if that continues, this is going to be a 3-0.
Jamyoung's seen Westmelon. He was a little bit too thick, hanging out around the corner there. Westmelon get that smoke down, but I don't imagine that's going to save him. Starry confident enough to take that fight. And TYLOO go to 8.
Lynn Vision, good news for them, Jordan. They have got enough money to buy.
Again.
Oh man, Inferno. What a map. What are they going to put together here? Oops, out for Zaka. That's where the good news ends. No one else is really stepping up that much. Amelia, he's been doing alright, but the rest of the boys are kind of getting run over right now. So unless Zaka gets in the right position with the AWP at the right time and finds impact, it really feels like things are folding for Lynn Vision. Westmelon once again setting himself up for the Nana retake util set. TYLOO, after a couple of quicker rounds in the last few, are slowing this one down quite substantially. Carpet's pressure, smoke to bracket. Trying to deny info and apply light pressure to this A site. In the meanwhile, they've been doing some slower banana control. There's a smoke and a molly traded from both teams towards B. Who will maintain control of sandbags is the question. It's Jamyoung. He's won that duel onto Westmelon, who, even though was flashed in by his teammate of Zaka, was still not able to win the duel. And Jamyoung is just going to go forward. Whether he finds success or not is not really relevant. In fact, he snuck through the smoke, which means this jungle wrap may be delayed until he can find further success. TYLOO don't need to rush this one.
He's going to get a knife kill right here.
Yeah, they're bringing the bomb back. Like, look at Mosey. They were thinking about just going for the jungle wrap, but why not just go into an empty B site?
I can't believe he doesn't go for the knife right there. You're up 8-2, man. It's just not the Jamyoung thing to do, is it? I reckon if it was G, or if it was Starry, 100% that's on.
That's a knife. But Jamyoung, I feel like he's a classy individual, you know? He's like a respectful youngster.
Right.
I never have really seen any kind of BM from Jamyoung, to be honest.
True. Well, he's won the round for TYLOO. And Lynn Vision may have some difficulty holding on to these remaining guns. The Fufu will lose his, then Amelia follows suit.
Like, I don't know, bro.
Flying.
We've been talking about it for months, but, like, this is just kind of confirming all of our conversations, you know, where it's just like, this was the invite to the RMR, and, like, they've just been looking shaky. They've been dropping series right and left. TYLOO's assembled this super team, and the way this grand final is looking, like, this is just kind of egregious, no?
Yes.
I really wanted Lynn Vision to, like, prove it all wrong and do something, but it's just not reality.
Sometimes bad things happen to good people, Pilsky, and this is a bad thing that's happened to us. I feel personally aggrieved by this.
I agree. Not seeing TYLOO at the China Major with the super team assembled specifically to qualify for it. It's just bad for everyone. It's just bad for business.
Yeah. I mean, TYLOO lost their qualifier fair and square. That was to Rare Adam, and that's, you know, there's no debate about that. There's no conversation there. I mean, Rare Adam absolutely deserved their spot.
Yeah, that's not what we're debating. We're debating the fact that Lynn Vision did not have to qualify.
Yep, exactly.
Versus two teams who did have to qualify that I think at the moment both look better than them.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a 10-2 half from TYLOO. And Starry doesn't even really have to do anything on that A-bomb site, but gets out there anyway, and bomb's going to be tossed over to Mosey. G wants to go hunting with the AWP, look for at least one more kill to end the half, and he's going to get it. So there you have it. That was a bit of a display. TYLOO up 10-2 over Lynn Vision in the first half of the grand final of ESL Challenger League Season 48. All right, back into the second half, and have to question how much of a half this really is going to be. TYLOO are up 10-2, and they are looking like a dominant force right now on Inferno. Vision, well, they need the pistol. I think that's pretty obvious.
Not going well for them, though. Banana control and opening pick and damage to boot for Jamyoung. TYLOO with the man advantage just going to fall away and play a crossfire inside of the A site.
Zaka leading that charge. He's not going to have Westmelon behind him, unfortunately, and now he won't even have any impact on the round himself. Mercury boosted up on the box in the site. Is getting the job done onto flying, and it's just curtains, really, for Lynn Vision at this point. Fufu, haven't seen much from him today. Don't imagine we're going to be seeing much from him in this pistol round. He's trying to play with the time as best as he can, but now he's got Mosey behind him with Dooley, so all the information in the world for TYLOO.
Looking for a pick, if anything. Give himself an in into the 1-on-4, but maybe even just have a little bit of cash going forward. Not even going to be given that. Easy shot for Mercury on the side of the head. 11-2 for TYLOO. A dominant game of Inferno. Really throwing everything at Lynn Vision so far. And Lynn Vision, if they concede this map, which will happen short of some kind of fantastic comeback, the likes that I don't think seen from them, then it's going to have to be a flawless reverse sweep for them to have a hope in this grand final, and they've already had to play their way through an entire series so far.
Yeah, no investment from Lynn Vision, so I guess the idea is to play for OT if there ever was any chance in this one. It's going to set TYLOO up for success in the second half, though. There's 4 economic farming weapons, one of which was an XM. But unfortunately for TYLOO, maybe all the kills are going to go the one that doesn't farm their money up quite as much. G comes swinging in from Boiler. He wants those frags. He says, I've got an MP9. I'll take 4, please. And he will continue his nice little run up to 15-4 now for G.
Dragging up a storm. As is the rest of TYLOO. Mosey hasn't even had to do anything this game, really. In 14 rounds, he's got 3 kills. He's probably seen 4 people. Lynn Vision. Last chance for them up against Map Point here. It's their first gun round here on this T side. Not a single person stepping up so far in this game. Util trade on towards Banana here. Starry's taking a little bit of damage on the second mid spam. Going to be a close app setup nonetheless. Looking for a pick onto a Fufu. XM in this range can definitely get the job done. Lions making some moves to jump up towards Carps as well. You've got G on the line towards that balcony position. And after a little bit of an exchange towards Banana, Lynn Vision are going to try to go towards A.
This will be an interesting one. Afufu, I think, is a dead man if Starry stays there, but he decides to move away. Timing looking pretty good there for Afufu. Starry actually ended up getting one with that XM, but not going to be enough to hold on to the site. However, bomb was dropped to Jamyoung here with a chance. Won't quite hold on to it as Westmelon will grab that headshot. Probably seal the deal for Lynn Vision, at least here for their third round. But again, it's not really anything to get too hyped up about. I mean, Lynn Vision going up against what was essentially a bonus round from TYLOO. Yes, they win it, but scoreline's 12-3, so long way to go.
All comes out for G here. Bonus doesn't really do too much, so it's good stuff for Lynn Vision, but still going to need 9 in a row with no chance of any room for error. See how they go with it. Orp's going to be up on this jungle line. And it's going to be a passive start here for G. This 3 starting towards Banana, so they don't want to fold that A site early. HEs do a lot of damage to 3 players here for Lynn Vision, who jump up above the progression smoke there from their own side. Looking to try to force their way up onto B, but it's not working out for them. Amelia goes down early, handing an AK to Jamyoung. And Lynn Vision have got to explore their options elsewhere, because B is closed for business.
Smoke to try to cut off TYLOO's angles, but Mercury doesn't really give a stuff about that. Walk looks past it with the 5-7 in hand. He'll be flashed into middle and doesn't actually get any damage at all. Bit of info though. Spots a couple of players out. Could have gone a whole lot worse for Lynn Vision.
See what they go to now. Smoke to bracket side. Still a fair bit of utility to get the job done here for Lynn Vision if they place it in the right positions. And the main disadvantage is never the biggest of issues on Inferno. Still got Westmelon hanging around a B, keeping their options open. Flash from Jamyoung there. Trying to set up Mosey for some aggression, but not checking the sandbag's position. That's the pick they needed on 8 though. Spotting G inside pit, who misses that first shot. Now he's getting mollied and flashed out of the position, burning alive. And that's another key kill for Lynn Vision there. Starry picking one on the cross means it's a 2-on-3 here for Zaka and Afufu.
Starry's done a great job though of pegging it back to a 1-on-3. Zaka, this is where he's going to have to step up. The swing came through from Mosey and it was enough to bait him into that direction. Jamyoung coming through from Dig. And that'll be that. TYLOO make it look a cakewalk really on Inferno. Lynn Vision just did not show up on that map at all. And if that's a sign that we're going to see continued throughout the rest of this series, it's going to be a pretty quick one. Anubis is up next, which is Lynn Vision's map choice. But man, that was a great display from TYLOO. And that's exactly the kind of games that we want to be seeing from this TYLOO roster.
Yeah, this is the reason their team was assembled. They wanted to dominate the Asia region. Were a little bit hard done by because at times I felt like they were the better team a lot of the time in that you know, big era of the TYLOO Vici rivalry, and they just had a bit of a mental block against TYLOO, who would always win against them, and I felt like tended to have kind of the fans behind them. But nowadays I don't think it's that straightforward with a lot of, you know, TYLOO not having as much success. Lynn Vision giving a lot of Chinese fans a thing to cheer for at some of these international events. But I guess that's going to be the case for the major as well.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think there's a good spread of... Ooh, that's a nice shot. A good spread of fans now for the various Chinese teams. Everyone seems to have their favorite. But right now, TYLOO is my favorite. Although in this pistol, things might get a bit difficult, particularly if Mercury were to have gone down there. He has managed to cross into the site, and that's a great shot from Starry. Good response, has to be said, by Amelia. But it's starting to fall apart a little bit here for Lynn Vision, and Jamyoung, if he's able to catch that timing, should cut flying off, though unable to do so. It leaves Mercury stuck in the site, solo against 2. He's got to spin around and do everything himself, which of course is a task too tall. So yet another pistol will be going the way of Lynn Vision. They were able to start the last map on Inferno with a pistol, and they start this map with one as well.
And Flying, once again, delivering the goods in the pistol rounds. 3k for him. Zaka's been the main man to do a lot of the work in the CT pistols thus far, but this time Flying and Amelia are combining for 5. Win Lynn Vision a much-needed pistol. They had some time to recollect themselves and did lose the first map against Bromo and came back swinging super hard in towards Dust 2 and then Anubis. So should be a pretty comfortable map for them to try to turn this series back around. Forced buy from TYLOO though, investing in a lot of utility, and it looks like the progression smoke thrown over towards the front side of B. Lynn Vision reply with a smoke of their own, and TYLOO prepping themselves to try to hit B on a timing.
Nade into that smoke actually does a fairly significant chunk of damage onto Starry, which will, quite frankly, be quite relevant here, as TYLOO will look to filter their way in. Starry, gee, how? No one's even shooting back at them. Starry was on 50 HP. And yet TYLOO get into that bomb site almost for free, only Flying getting any damage done. And that was onto Mercury. He's now down to half HP as the nade lands at his feet.
3A1S is picked up by TYLOO here. This is a brutal force fight. It's left Lynn Vision reeling. Flying doing his best just to get any exits and hold on to an MP9 into a round where they definitely have to force. And TYLOO really kind of grinding Lynn Vision down. They had high hopes after winning that CT pistol, but very much coming crashing back to reality very quickly here.
Yeah, what's the response from Lynn Vision?
They have to force, surely.
And if you're wondering why you're hearing the audio twice, it's because the Chinese feed is a little bit behind. So when we swap to the cameras, we are actually going back into the past.
Well, haven't had the force here for Lynn Vision. They've upgraded pistols around this saved MP9, but they will be double ecoing nonetheless. Hasn't started off well. TYLOO pressuring the middle of the map, cutting it in half. Mach 10 finding impact already as Mercury's gone in hard on the entry. Amelia's taking this space over towards water. Mosey's got the bomb here.
Oh.
Needs to be careful not to lose it. Footsteps heard by Amelia. He's seen Mercury over towards E-Box there. Oh, can't quite get the shot together. And TYLOO executing this B site while Starry's applying pressure in the middle of the map. Does seem like a pretty clean anti-eco from them.
Oh, well, Starry just biting off a little more than he could chew there. Yeah, we'll give up an AK, but this will be a second round for TYLOO. No questions about that one.
Yeah, I think Lynn Vision doing exactly what they were doing on Inferno, just really trying to play that min-maxing game of the economy on the CT side. If they can take an AK, they'll take that into the next round. Deagle can be dropped over maybe to Zaka, and they can try to do further damage. I don't think they're going to force around the AK, most likely. They're just trying to kind of keep as many of these rounds competitive as possible and try to chip in damage against the T-side economy of TYLOO. But once again, similar to Inferno, TYLOO have started very, very well on this T-side.
Has to be more difficult, though, for TYLOO on this map than Inferno. At the very least, we have to ask that from Lynn Vision. I'm very disappointed if that doesn't end up being the case.
Well, you'd hope so. But Starry, was part of this dominant Lynn Vision, and so was G, was part of this dominant Lynn Vision on Anubis. So I have a fair bit of familiarity with how they like to play this map, and might have been keys for them to find success on this map in the past. That can be leveraged against Lynn Vision. AK lying in wait here outside of E-Box. TYLOO seemed well aware that Afufu's pinned into the corner there. He's waiting for a flash from Westmelon. Set up perfectly. Needs to multi-frag here. Has got the Mach 10 pinned into the corner, and nicely done. Starry's cleaned up Zaka in the meanwhile. Bombs dropped in towards water under bridge. Afufu gets cleaned up in the meanwhile, and a bomb gets retrieved. So, look, after a bit of a scare, it seems like TYLOO are putting things back where they should be. And Westmelon wants to try to utilize that 5-7, try to take one more gun away if he can, maybe even pick up the rifle in from middle here and see what he can get done with it, but should still be around for TYLOO here, and should still be a 3-1 start before Lynn Vision can really get going.
That was a bit of a chaotic round, wasn't it? Fights happening all over the place. TYLOO looking sharp enough to deal with that for the most part. Westmelon's going to go hunting. We'll run into Jamyong though. 3-1 is the score. But it's buy time for Lynn Vision, and this is where things might start to get a little bit more interesting. Orb's been dropped over to Zaka. He has not had any impact on this map so far, but this is where we need to ask of it from him.
They're going to have to win a couple of CT gun rounds in a row. TYLOO's had a pretty good start to this game economically after winning that round 2 force buy. It's one of the most impactful rounds you can win, especially in MR12. It's never really been rectified. It was, pretty difficult in CSGO to recover from, but at least you had a whole, 15-round half to be able to do something about it. Here in MR12, losing round 2 is potentially a death sentence, particularly on the CT side. Slow round to start for TYLOO. They also have an AWP out on G. Molly going to push Zaka back. He's going to reply with his own, but TYLOO have made it across the double doors.
Yeah, and Zaka's forced away now from Cams. He's going to set up on another line. It's not really where the big problems are arising. Westmelon went for a little push outside of B. Afufu's flashed himself there in E-Box.
Yeah, Looks like TYLOO in complete control, punishing the early to mid-round aggression. Zaka goes for a re-peek over on cams and is instantly punished as well. It feels like Lynn Vision trying to make plays, but getting heavily punished for them, and TYLOO just further extending their advantage.
Maybe trending back over towards B, though. There is some semblance of a defense there from Lynn Vision, although it's looking somewhat shaky. Fufu still working his way around the site. I mean, there's 30 seconds left in this round, and if TYLOO put a foot wrong, then definitely there's an angle in here for Lynn Vision. Mosey going to try to clear things out as the nade blows open the smoke, but you've got 3 CTs to find right here. 1 goes down, now 2, and Amelia, unfortunately, not going to have the chance to do too much in this round before it's already over. I mean, if that's how it's going to go that cleanly for TYLOO, even in those kinds of circumstances, yes, it was a 5v3, but you want to see at least a kill or something from Lynn Vision to put some pressure back on TYLOO.
Yeah. It was the same thing on Inferno. Remember, like, they were 4 stacked on A, and they still got folded 1 for 4. Like, even when they're stacked on the right sides of the maps, there's just no pushback from Lynn Vision. They're not passing the firepower test in this series.
100%.
They're outgunned in every position, including the all-parole, unfortunately, which is not what we wanted to see.
Yeah, Westmelon, Zaka both having no success at all on the map thus far. 5 rounds deep, no frags. Not a good feeling. Starry easily opening things up and getting himself a double there into mid as well. Might not necessarily be expecting flying, but there's a flash through. Well done. Good protocols being followed by TYLOO, and Gamyoung setting Starry up for success.
That's got a sting for Lynn Vision. They used to do that for their team. You know, very key player for Lynn Vision, work in the middle of the map, and now they're feeling exactly what it feels like to be on the other end of it.
Another round for TYLOO. This has been the nature of the beast, really, for Lynn Vision. A lot of rounds like this where they're just losing players in certain key parts of the map, and then the other couple are forced to save, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, just has not been a particularly close grand final, unfortunately. And I guess that was kind of what was expected at the end of the day. TYLOO looking to put a 5th together here. 3k for from Starry, just waltzing way through the middle of the map. Anti-eco. And Lynn Vision going to save pistols. Alt money's there for Zaka yet again here. 16k in the bank account for Mosey. That tells you everything you need to know. We're, what, 5-6 rounds into this game. He's got 16k.
Gamyoung and Starry not going to be too far behind him either. Both up at about 11, 12k. And it is looking grim on the side of Lynn Vision, not just in terms of their economic prospects, but also the rounds here as well. This will be a bona fide A take. You can have mollies tossed over the top, smokes in there as well as some flashes. TYLOO just going to hit it with force and gusto, and Amelia can't do anything about it. At least there's a trade from flying, but there's always that second wave of TYLOO players, and they do get into the site. It is Zach's first kill on the board, but his run in this round is cut short by G, waiting for the wrap around the back. Really be prepared for a second player. Maybe it doesn't even matter.
I mean, that's just another kind of disjointed round for Lynn Vision. Zach is just free peeking bridge when Westmelon's taking things slowly. They've looked quite disjointed, honestly, this tournament. There's been a couple of pretty head-scratching rounds, and that's some worrying signs, I think, heading into the RMR as far as I'm concerned. Trying to save 2 rifles again on the CT side. There has been a large portion of save rounds here for Lynn Vision. Westmelon, he's just trying to get on the board, man. The damage doesn't even really matter at this point. TYLOO are just so rich to start off this game. They have lost very few rifles, and the exits are really not going to make too much of an impact. It's actually much more important that Westmelon stays alive there than finds any exits onto the C side. Oh, these sides are just crumbling. Time and time again.
Mid's crumbling as well. There's nowhere on the map that is looking even remotely close right now for Lynn Vision. So we're going to attack timeout, but I don't know if you can necessarily fix this. Is it not necessarily down to poor setups, really. It's just TYLOO looking a little bit better, a little bit more switched on, a bit sharper.
Poor communication from Lynn Vision. They're looking disjointed and they are not shooting back. And I agree with you, it is hard from a tactical standpoint to rectify that. As a coach, it's got to be much more of a focus-based thing, knowing your players, knowing how to kind of turn around their mindset in a series like this, because if they don't start shooting back, if they don't start talking to each other and actually, you know, setting up these rounds when they've been getting smashed all series long, then nothing else is going to matter. It doesn't matter what other tactical adjustment you're going to make. You're still going to lose.
Westmelon to try and get aggressive on B main once again, but Mosey even faster. He'll be going through the Molotov alongside his mates, and now it's down to Zaka to try to hold on to this site. He'll chance a shot or two through the smoke. There's a flash that bursts in his face, and Jamyoung hasn't found him. Unlucky for Jamyoung. Didn't quite check the right angle. Maybe a chance in here for Lynn Vision now. Starry out in the open. Clean shot from Zaka. He's starting to come online with the AWP when he gets the opportunities. It's down to just G. Bomb is in the B-bomb site. So he's a long way away from this round.
It's a winnable round for him, though. Anticipating a flank from one of these CTs, perhaps. Just clearing out all of those angles. Amelia trending back over towards this A side. Do they not know they've dropped the bomb on front B here? Doesn't seem like it.
Maybe it's right behind the pillar and nobody saw it.
Yeah, it might be. Envision clearing out the middle of the map. Still stacked quite heavily up towards B. Amelia's the high HP player here in towards Palace on the retake, so yeah, it's the main player that should be able to close this round for Lynn Vision, or maybe it's flying to flank on in. Nicely done. And that's a Zaka round. 3K in impossible circumstances, getting pinched from every single angle. Util pegged at him, and he's just flicking around, hitting every single shot on the ult.
Yeah. Well, one round is not necessarily going to trouble TYLOO too much.
They tried the pace change again. Speed things up towards B after the tack timeout. Something that worked for them last round. Aggression time and time again towards B main has been the name of the game for Westmelon. So I think Zaka maybe looking to pick whatever player was waiting for that push. If they were a bit more aggressive than usual. Once again, Westmelon will take that B long control. TYLOO with a little bit of pressure in towards A main early on here. Starry's going to work the middle of the map yet again. Flash up in towards double doors on towards house. Mosey's traded his utility down with the CT side, but there's Westmelon finding some success. He's been very aggressive over on that B side of the map time and time again, and finally finds the T side lurker on the wing.
That's actually extremely problematic for TYLOO, because now they're going to have to send someone back to collect the bomb, and it's going to be the job of G. But Westmelon is hanging around. If G oversteps, maybe Westmelon could get himself another one. Has now been heard by G, dropping off of the top shelf. And so shot is connected, and you could tell G was very prepared for that. Brings it back to the 4-on-4. Now, it's still a little bit trouble here for TYLOO, because a lot of map control has been lost as a result of that push. Mosey might have spotted one out. I don't know that he spotted Amelia, and that'll be the end result. A couple of kills, Flying and Amelia. Sorry,
Vision looking much more switched on right now. Like, they're aggressing together, they're playing off of each other a little bit more effectively.
Hang on.
G's found the gap on the map though. Starry's cleared out this A site. It's still a bit far-fetched that they're going to be able to put this 2-on-4 together, but bomb plant will at least go down if it's allowed to. Lynn Vision flooding into the site. Starry has got to defend G on the site here, and he hasn't quite been able to do that. Bomb's still gone down.
Zach is killing everybody.
He's killing his own teammates, unfortunately, but Lynn Vision will still win a round. That's 2 in a row after the timeout, and like I said, they look a little bit more switched on. Whatever was said in the timeout is starting to work. Slowly but surely working their way into this CT side of Anubis, which is all they need to do, right? If they could just grind enough rounds out on this CT side after a poor start, then they can definitely win this game on their T.
Yeah, I mean, it is still a T-sided map. So 4-5 rounds here for Lynn Vision will be enough to get it done. TYLOO don't want to be squandering the advantage that they've gained themselves. They've still got a lot of money.
Westmelon just keeps going aggro every round, round in, round out. This time supported by Zaka, but 2 picks lost right off the rip. Traded one back is Starry, overcooking that one a little bit in the 5-on-3. But still an advantage for TYLOO nonetheless.
Yeah, Starry's had a couple of moments that he's overcooked, I think it's fair to say.
Ooh.
That's cheeky from a Fufu.
Yeah, outside of the smoke on E-Box. That's one way to even up the numbers. He knows that Jamyoung was looking for that. You know, they know Jamyoung just defaults to be every single round. Flying catches him with a grenade in hand. That was the important kill. Bomb drop now. G has to complete this 1-on-2. Zaka's made his way into position, but he doesn't want to peek until Flying makes contact. Instant one tap from G. The standoff between the two AWPers, but G's the one with rifle in hand. Beautiful pre-fire. And a round that Lynn Vision had no business winning gets incredibly close in the mid-round, but TYLOO still comes out ahead.
Yeah, that's a big one for G to pick up. This round was a very messy one again on both sides. You've got players that are sort of caught with their pants down in a sense. It was Jamyoung in particular right there that maybe let it swing back over to Lynn Vision, but great little clutch from G. Doesn't quite bankrupt Lynn Vision, but once again pulls them back a step where if this round goes poorly, then TYLOO actually might be on for 9. And that's a far cry from what we were discussing earlier on with Lynn Vision maybe being able to push up to 5.
Util's quite poor for the CT side in this round, so need to be a little bit more cerebral about how they're using it. Early on, just trying to shut the T's out of A main and E-Box, but Mosey has been consistently pressuring this A side of the map with his own util set in the early to mid round. Very pointedly trying to trade down util with the CTs and apply pressure there. Second smoke to E-Box. Really refreshing that one multiple times this round for Lynn Vision. They don't want the T's to take control there early on. There's the flash in towards A main. Followed up by another one here from Mosey. No reply from Lynn Vision. Emilia's still holding onto his smoke here. Zaka's posted up on the line. This is an A-hold setup, but it's not A where TYLOO are going.
And Vision going to be looking for some info. Emilia has done this a couple of times, and Mosey well prepared for it. He's going to get both. Meanwhile, Mercury getting the job done over on B. It's just Zaka that is having success, and he's going to be brought down. So it is looking quite doomed now for Lynn Vision. Money more or less broken. Final round at the half, they're going to have to force buy in, but the best they've got is 31.50. And TYLOO are not missing a beat at all.
Yeah, again, TYLOO looking like they're bigger, faster, stronger in every position, fragging harder, flying. The only person positive for Lynn Vision, but even that's a bit misleading. I think he got a 3k in the pistol and an exit or 2. So I don't think he's really been finding that much more success than the rest of Lynn Vision. Fufu with a good round or 2. Zaka with one good round. Aggression down into water here for Lynn Vision. They don't have the util to play the mid to late rounds. And G punishing that aggression. Emilia's already gone down over on that A side. He's actually just sending it onto A with the AWP by himself. The rest of TYLOO are fighting in the middle of the map, picking all the Famases apart, and Westmelon's going to go down as well. TYLOO winning every duel across the map and dominating the T side of Anubis. It looks like this is their grand final on a silver platter.
With the scoreline at 9-3, TYLOO are looking pretty much poised to close this one out in a 3-0 fashion. It might actually be one of the fastest series we've had all weekend, Pilsky. It's a little bit unfortunate that that has to happen in the grand final, but Lynn Vision are just not showing up.
Yeah, haven't really turned up to this grand final series at all. Have at least done what they needed to do, getting a spot at Pro League, but this domestic result might be one that they regret, jumping into the site here, into a hard crossfire that they crack wide open, only Jamyoung to get one, as the rest of TYLOO scurrying through middle to rotate into position to try to break apart the post plant that Lynn Vision is setting up.
It's a fast flank, though, from TYLOO. I wasn't sure that Lynn Vision were going to be prepared for it. They did make some footsteps, but G has just pulled out 3 from nowhere. Starry got the other one. G's basically AFK at this point, probably cheering, probably on the table at this point. He's want to do that, as we've seen in the past, but that, unfortunately, for Lynn Vision, is not going to be a pistol round. And with that, you'd say their chances of staying alive in this series are pretty much gone.
Not quite yet. We'll see what the force buy has entailed for us, but it's definitely going to be a mental barrier that they have to overcome. They had their chances to come back in that last half, and unfortunately kind of thrown in the bin, having their money reset towards the tail end of the half as well. They were slowly but surely kind of grinding their way back in on the CT side, but TYLOO shut that down nice and quick. And look, again, here in a man advantage situation in the pistol, unfortunately falling apart. Can they make this force buy work here? 2 Galils, handful of util. Looking for the B timing. B on the line in from Ninja here. Mercury to support. HE goes a little bit too deep. Only hits Westmelon, but he's holding on from pillar side. Only going 1 for 1. Reactive utility though from Mercury, and the MP9 shot's a little better.
9, not quite able to get the job done there for Amelia, as Jamyoung will swing through for the last couple. And Lynn Vision drop another round. It's 11 for TYLOO. They're now 2 rounds away from taking the ESL Challenger League Season 48 title.
Yeah, and for Lynn Vision, this is not a confidence builder going into the Asian RMR, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big problem. But something that they're going to have to face next week.
Yeah, the Eagles coming out. Unless they're saving strats, Jordan.
Oh,
you know?
come on.
I mean, do they really want 8,000 USD and a better seed for Pro League?
Nah.
Is it more important to save strats for the major?
Yeah, and good vibes in the team. Good vibes in the team and confidence and yeah. Nah. Couldn't be me.
They know that they know that we're saving strats though, you know, so like they're not gonna let it sway their confidence at all.
Don't know about that one, Chief. Well, we're going to have some real words, I think, for Lynn Vision on the old podcast this week, because this has not been a very scintillating performance from them at all. TYLOO, you just got a feel for this team. Once again, reinforcing the conversation around them and how they should have probably been one of the representatives at the Asia RMR from China, but the cookie did not crumble in that way.
Hey, to be fair to Lynn Vision, Jordan, they did beat a team with little MN strats and a team playing with 2 coaches. So they really did the hard yards to get here.
You're right.
Gee, and Starry, man, they have definitely been trying to send a message in this grand final, it feels like.
Yeah. Well, this is the last opportunity for Lynn Vision. Scoreline looking incredibly grim. Everything looking pretty grim for them. No one's really showing up on this map, exception maybe even, almost surprisingly being flying at 11-11, and Zach has had a moment or two here and there, but you don't have enough being put together by anybody at any point.
A last chance for Lynn Vision. Be a long road to get back into this series. Jamyoung on the aggression, doesn't find anything, playing around the corner of that smoke. Lynn Vision swatting that one away pretty quickly and giving themselves an early man advantage. Flying has turned it on when they've already lost the series. Where was this?
Round's not over just yet. He's going to have a bit of a look at that molly out. And meanwhile, TYLOO pushing their way through middle. Starry and G. I think I kind of need to activate somewhere. So that flash will do as intended to set Starry up for a peek into middle, but he doesn't see anything. B site's going to be taken by Lynn Vision, and it might just be the save call really for TYLOO at this point.
Yeah.
You can definitely buy into the next round if you save these 3 guns.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty nice shot from Flying. He's the goat after all. In towards E-box. You see that one? Just bopped him. TYLOO chilling on the beach. You been chilling on the beach lately, Jordan?
I have been.
There in Queensland?
Yeah, I went for a walk on the beach today. It was quite nice this morning. It's a bit hot though.
I went down the south coast. It was just raining all the time. It's a bit sad.
No, you got to come up to the Sunshine Coast. That's why they call it the Sunshine Coast.
Okay.
The sunshine here.
Might do that. Might do that.
Well, not quite locked in just yet for TYLOO. But I dare say we're not going to be seeing Jam Young W key through canals in this round.
Alrighty. Another buy here for TYLOO. Orbs out for G. Lynn Vision punishing TYLOO's aggression in the round previous. Credit where credit's due. Now taking some mid-control. Westmelon, he's been pretty aggressive in this game with very limited success. But he's going to stick to what he knows. Molly in towards camera. Secures that mid-control for Vision. How will TYLOO respond?
Slowly.
No, he's not on the team anymore. What else?
Oh, quickly. Mosey peeking A long. Not going to work out this time. He only had an MP9. He got Amelia down to 2 HP. It leaves G somewhat solo on the A side of the map. Starry's going to float back across. Some holes starting to appear in the defense here for TYLOO.
Yeah, Lynn Vision going to go towards B, working their way through. Westmelon left behind to defend any bridge aggression. He's got quite a task on his hands. There's 2 players here. Just dry walking in. He has a chance at finding this pick, but after he spots out Jam Young, he's just going to say, see you later.
It's onto Mercury now.
Box.
Has managed to creep his way back onto the site behind those smokes. Has a molly, which he'll try to use to deny the bomb plant, but Smoke will put it out pretty quick smart. Nice refrag though onto Zaka. Back into a 4-on-4, which is odds that TYLOO might not necessarily hate. Some of that util getting tossed into Pillar. Nobody to clear out quite there. So Vision have pulled back into some safer post-plant positions. There's not a whole lot of util to work with though for TYLOO. They don't have a smoke. They've got some defuse kits, but they've got to be finding some kills right here and now. Flashes going into E-box. No kills to come from them though. Jam Young's lost his life. Starry now as well, and it's just G left alive. There's some low HP players, but he won't be able to take advantage of that as the timer has ticked away a little too far. He might catch up with Amelia, but I don't know that he'll get away with his life here. 20 HP is apparently enough. So the AWP will survive through to the next round, but so too will Lynn Vision.
Yeah, putting some pretty good rounds together, consistently finding these opening picks and closing out the mid to late round in pretty sensible fashion. They're usually making the right call when it comes down to it, but all of that is pretty irrelevant at this current scoreline. You know, all it's going to take is one mistake, one wrong call, or one big round from a bunch of TYLOO players who've been playing a phenomenal grand final thus far, and this is one of them. Outstanding map in the last. 20-5 on the scoreboard right now against his old team. G is here to play, boys.
He's looking for more, but maybe not over the bridge anymore. He'll back his way up. In the meanwhile, Zaka has caught Mercury, so we are back to 4-on-4. which is going to mean that G will need to continue pushing the issue.
Yeah. Just posted up, waiting for a pick here. As are Lynn Vision. Smoke goes through onto house, obscuring the vision there for G. Follow up Molly, going to push him forward and flash up onto the line. He hasn't been pushed off. He is still posted up, and Lynn Vision going to respect that. Amelia left behind on the lurk in towards Waterside. The rest of Lynn Vision prepping this B-side execute, where both Starry and Jam Young lie in wait, and G's on the rotation over 2.
Oh, well, if G can get there in time, that'll be the difference maker. He's going to be boosted up. This could be very dangerous indeed. He's got another one, this time onto Westmelon, and he's going to be boosted up once again. Zaka surely not expecting that. No, over the top, G, you can't do that. That's unbelievable. Starry does get the trade. G just decides, I'm going to do it. And the rest of the team has to follow suit. It's getting a bit mad now. Starry in there with the Deagle. Amelia looking for the trade fags, and he can't quite find them. Starry and Mosey hiding, buying each other time, but Amelia will keep it alive. Oh dear, TYLOO. They are on the brink of this victory, but they just can't quite seal the deal.
It was only a save and some absolute antics from G there. So Lynn Vision, the fact that that got so close is concerning in and of itself. G absolutely taking over that round though with some really nice peaks, some creative play with the boost, and from there a little bit of boneheadedness, it has to be said. Trying to send a bit of a message against this old team. That's respect where respect's given for TYLOO. They don't want to be playing any games here against their Chinese domestic rivals. Having played in a Chinese org myself, I understand just how much some of these Chinese orgs care that you smash the other Chinese teams. And I think that timeout is a bit of a case of it, where it's like, come on boys, let's just close this out nice and clean, keep the boss happy.
Yeah, maybe Zoking's got some words about what he's picked up on in some of these gun rounds. No massive change-ups, though, from TYLOO. 2-1-2 setup. Pretty standard stuff. She's going to go back over towards B after there's no early aggression on A. And Jamyoung even wanting to continue playing aggressively in through canals, which is something we saw from them earlier in the half. He initially was strong off of the bridge, I think, but this time going through E-box. Either way, the end result is going to be more or less the same, but...
I mean, TYLOO is pretty much all of their util in the early to mid round there, trying to create an opportunity to find some kind of success. Westmelon getting the better of Starry in the middle of the map, going dink for dink. Always favors the AK. And once again, that's the third or fourth round in a row that Lynn Vision have found a man advantage.
Yeah, even if just by the skin of their teeth. TYLOO have shown their hand a little bit with the aggression, so I don't know how much they want to keep doing that. Smoke's keeping Lynn Vision at bay from A long for the moment, though can't imagine that's going to be lasting long, and Mosey, the sole defender on A, is going to need some backup, and he's going to need it pretty quickly. Rotation's coming through. G and Mercury, if they go in through middle, will be able to beat the T's to A. But Mosey's completely flashed out. Has to tuck himself into the corner. That's actually quite good news because G's picked up Amelia. And now Jamyoung, he'll be hearing that rotation. And he is also in a very powerful position now behind Lynn Vision.
Can't take full advantage just yet though. G just waiting to punish these T's if they try to force things on backside. There's so many CTs here. The flood is ensuing and they get crunched from both sides. Jamyoung chooses his moment to strike, and there was a lineup on the cards there for Zaka, but Mosey is quicker. 13-6 for TYLOO, and they absolutely sweep Lynn Vision aside in this grand final, and I think it's pretty safe to say, with how dominant of a performance that was, Jordan, that TYLOO should be the best team in China right now, despite not attending this major.
Definitely agree, and there they are, the champions of ESL Challenger League Season 48 Asia. It will be TYLOO in a bittersweet moment as they pick up that rivalry game against Lynn Vision on LAN.